this show do not reflect the opinions of the staff, management, ownership of FFN Radio Network. The host of the show is not a physician, a therapist, or a counselor. His thoughts are his own and his alone, and not the opinion of FFN Radio Network. Welcome to UnBoxed Thoughts with Nicholas Parsons.
Back twice, lost $10 million, 3 different addictions. Don't tell me about paying the price. From penthouses with top models, hanging with strippers with pop bottles. Anxious and hiding alone in my room from the world. I was pissing in pop bottles. From chart top and being a role model to flop records and lost follows. When I cop product, got a month's worth. When I left the spot, cops followed. Saw a photo, it was only face, cause I was 85 pounds overweight. Mental breakdown trying to catch a plane. Wasn't mad, shot, I was only Shane. My puppy Lola was my only gang. Had to put my baby in a fucking grave. I walked away from every brick I laid so I could build a new wall to keep me safe.
I'm finding someone that I know again. I started climbing out the hole I'm in, fighting demons and I know I'll win. It's time for me to mend these broken wings. Life has been hard, I know it gets better. This is a war that I'll fight forever.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday to you. We are back here at home. We're set up nice. Everybody can hear me perfectly. I hope we did a nice test run before we came on. Hope everybody had a great week. Safe weekend. I'm glad we can. You all can join us all again. Guys, we got a good episode today, and before we get that going, I just drastically want to say again that I am really sorry, everybody, for what had happened on last week's episode. I just want to point out again that things happen when we're live. All right, unexplained things, but today's a good way to bounce back, and just keep pushing forward. So with that being said, guys, I do have another special guest today. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about PICS. And what PICS is it's in post-incarceration syndrome. All right. And a lot of people wonder, what is post-incarcerated syndrome? So one, it's basically the effects and the traumatic experiences suffered during incarceration. Okay. Also, the evidence lived trauma that impacts desperate living decisions. So with that being said, I have a strong advocate here with us today. Her name is Alyssa. I know Alyssa from outside of UnBoxed Thoughts. She is a strong advocate for either a loved one or an incarcerated individual. So with that being said, I'd like to bring on Alyssa, and we're going to have a little chat about what exactly her group does, and ways to hopefully we can help these incarcerated individuals better their life after being released from incarceration. So Blaze, can we get Alyssa on here, please? Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, Nick. Hi, everybody.
Welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Alyssa, welcome to UnBoxed Thoughts.
I know. I'm super excited.
Thank you for being here. Are you nervous?
Yes, but I feel a little bit better now.
You feel a little bit better now? You're winding down?
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Alyssa, I know you can hear me a little bit in the back. I was just giving the viewers a little bit of a lowdown on PICS and a couple of things on what exactly PICS is. But without any further ado, just for the people that are just joining whatnot, want to just please introduce yourself to us, please, and then just give us a little background on what it is that you do.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alyssa Tharp. I am a regional organizer for an organization called OPJL. We are a small nonprofit organization. In my space in the organization, I take in prison complaints. So I help with anybody with like mental health, healthcare, excessive use of force. Like right now, we're really trying to get the PICS done. It is so severe. We are trying to get it marked as a national disorder, aside from PTSD, because it's so confused right now.
So you guys are trying to get it nationalized.
Yes,
That's how big of a thing it is.
Yes.
Okay.
We actually have a survey to take, and you guys can check us out at www.opjl.us.
Yeah. When my producer, real quick, Alyssa, gets a chance, if he could just add that website across the screen for now. Alyssa, want to just repeat it one more time, please?
It's www.opjl.us.
Awesome. So when he gets a chance, we'll put that on the bottom of the screen. So Alyssa, you were saying that this is nationalized. So why don't you explain to us a little bit on the whole background of it?
Okay. So what post-incarceration syndrome is, it's a mental disorder that affects people who are currently incarcerated or released from prison. All individuals who have been to prison are at risk for this disorder, but those who have experienced may more than like the trauma inside are more to develop the syndrome and more intense side effects.
Okay, so what is it exactly that the goal in the long run for this program?
What we're trying to do is to get it separated from PTSD to where it could be treated the right way, because it's not being treated. So they're just basically making it to be where it's just PTSD and they're not getting the right help in the right way because it's so different.
All right. And so, because you watch Unboxed Thoughts.
Yes.
And, we talk about anything mental health related, addiction, how to overcome these things and such like that. Now, you were saying that they want to get it nationalized, which is great because, I perfectly look at it as if like, when an either a loved one or incarcerated individual is coming home, I think of it sometimes as like a kid going to college, graduate, you put in all that effort to better, your mentality, etc., and then go out to get a job. But then you got these places basically stating that, well, I know you just did, 5 years in college, but we want somebody with experience.
Right.
So having said that, like an incarcerated individual, I feel like they're, the book is already judged by its cover. So they're already coming out with their backs up against the wall. I always have this thing because, no matter what, people like that are already going to be judged.
Mm-hmm.
And, on this show, I always like to say that, it's the people who ruin it for everybody that give certain individuals a bad rap.
Yeah.
And that goes for an incarcerated inmate or a loved one that you may have that's incarcerated or just coming home or whatever the case is. Not everybody is trying to come out to go and do wrong again. You know what I mean? A lot of them really want to put in the time and effort to better themselves, and they're already making those moves while incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
And now they want to come out and they want to better themselves, but it's just like, you've got your do's and don'ts. Obviously, you've got these people that don't want to give you a chance out there just because, I think of it like every time I look at a job application, and it already states on the bottom, like, you know, from your race, you know, religion, or, you know, any arrest records that you may have will not discriminate you from necessarily getting a job.
Mhm.
I find that to be bullshit. You know what I mean? Because they know as well as anybody else is they got to put that on that application. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They just don't want to give you the chance just because they're already running your background or whatever the case is. So when incarcerated inmates get out, there is a program that they can attend, correct?
Yes, we in our organization we do have different think programs that like stay focused. We also have a thing called POW for Women that they can sign up for, and it's a cohort. They're really good and helpful, and they're great programs. We actually just started Stay Focused for people because a lot of the times incarcerated individuals don't have, you know, when they get out, they don't get the programs they need inside the prison. They don't get the mental health that they're supposed to get or regular medical that they're supposed to get because there's so much stuff because they're isolated. They
Right.
don't get that, and it's hard on every person that's in there. I mean, it depends on who goes in, depending on their crime. I'm not judging anybody.
Right. And we talk about that all the time too. Like, you know, not every situation is similar, right? You know, you got to look at things from different perspectives. You know, obviously you got to take that into consideration too. You know, but go ahead. You were saying?
Um, the thing is about it with pics. I'm gonna let you know some of the symptoms that you can get.
Sure.
The thing is with PICS, you get the anxiety, the sleeplessness, the depression, you get the fear of small places, the discomfort of someone behind you, the insecurities, the nightmares, fear of police or authorities, fear of returning prison to jail, abandonment and isolation, like I've explained. I mean, a lot of the things is that in the prisons they don't get that, and like they still have the fear from when they
I
come
get that too.
yes, you get the fear from when you come home. So, like an example, I mean, it's not
Hold on a
even
minute. So that they were just showing on the background if you've
yes,
seen that the application process. Correct. They do ask you if you have ever had a felony or
yes,
anything like that. I get that they asked that, but that's not exactly what I said. They state that just because you may have a felony or anything like that, that doesn't necessarily disqualify you from having a job.
and
Anyway,
see the judgment, and that's the thing from
so you can pull that up
when
all
they
you
try
want.
to look like from like when they try to go home, like when anybody comes home from being incarcerated, I don't that they have the fear. Well, I'm not gonna be able to get a good paying job, and I mean that's hard on them mentally. And the thing is about it, they go back to their old ways, and because they're so institutionalized, and it's not just people that just go in for the first time. This is going back to where like kids who have even put in juvenile detention centers that are going through this, and they're so institutionalized from way back then, and they're going to be back now because they're not being recognized at all, and they're not getting the treatment they need. The state, honestly, and the government has a target on them, and I feel so bad for them because everyone has a story and their voices are not being heard, and that's the reason why I advocate, because I want them to have a voice because they are treated so unfairly. And honestly, I deal with pics constantly because I'm so used to being isolated.
Right.
And it's not just people who are incarcerated, it's the loved ones. And like that's what we strive for. And like I'm sorry for going off topic, Nick. But
No. You're sharing your experience. Go ahead. Absolutely.
I mean, the thing is about it with me, with pics, I'm isolated. I have the fear of a phone call. I'm used to being on the phone. I'm used to wondering what's going to happen. It's the same with another. I mean, they worry about, they have the anger issues, they take it out on you. You get told and when you cannot eat, when you can go to the bathroom, you can do anything. So they don't have control over their life. You know, any person that's incarcerated, they're basically going through something that they have no control over. They don't get the medical they need. And if they want to speak to medical staff or even, mental health, they have someone right there and they have to took it out on them. And it's sad. They don't have that privacy to speak on their own without the judgment.
And that's even crazy that like we even talk about this because when I had gone to the rehab twice, okay, we were civil commits, all right. It wasn't one of these little fancy rehabs that like you see on TV or whatever, kids with the beautiful water views and shit. I was actually in Bridgewater State Prison, and then they transferred me my second time around from Bridgewater to Plymouth County. And though we were in a prison setting, just in a separate area in the substance abuse section, it's crazy because the CEOs in there didn't even know how to deal with us, because for us, we weren't labeled as regular inmates, right? We were civil commits, incarcerated individuals.
Thank you.
Okay, we weren't labeled. We were civil commits, but the CEOs in there, they weren't used to dealing with them, so they'd just be like treating us just like we were incarcerated individuals. You know what I mean? They just leave us there. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be calling a doctor, whatever the case, or one of the nurses that were on call. You know what I mean? We had a hard time even trying to get one of our counselors that were assigned to us specifically to deal with, whatever 911, if anybody can't deal with us or whatever the case is. All right. So, for them to even say, like, inside the actual prison setting, that these incarcerated individuals that aren't getting the proper medical attention, you know what I mean? Whatever they need, you know what I mean? A lot of states and organizations are failing to try to get the help for these particular individuals, whether it be a incarcerated inmate or a loved one. So everybody in the chat, we were able to put the website up in the little bar going across the screen here. So I would deeply appreciate if everybody, if you got the time, the survey takes just a few minutes. I did do it myself earlier on in the week. Just to get that survey done, it will help Alyssa out and her organization as well, to try to get the ball moving. For anybody that is just joining right now, they are trying to get this nationalized so that they can further help these incarcerated individuals or these loved ones, because I know that there's plenty of us out there that either know of an incarcerated individual, or probably you do have a loved one that is incarcerated, or they're already out right now and they're trying to make the best of their life,
Right.
going forward. All right. And I support this 100%, just because, how many incarcerated individuals or loved ones want to come out on the, they walk out of the prison setting, jail setting, and it's like, at least for me anyway, it was like I was prepping myself that whole week before I came out. I felt like highly motivated and stuff, but our minds take a different direction when we come out. You know what I mean? It's like we're more nervous now, and we just hope for the best and everything happens.
Right.
But what happens if you can't, get a particular job or, education, or something like that?
I mean, there is different programs that you can do, because a lot of people will transition to halfway houses, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not too fond
Right.
of
Yeah,
some of the halfway houses, because they're just not as great. But see, here's another thing to let you know with PICS, okay? Sometimes substance abuse is affected with it. Some people that never had a substance abuse will gain it to self-medicate with
Yeah.
PICS. And we do have different ways of treatment and planning that we believe is to get therapy, or even when you develop a type of substance abuse, is go to, like, a treatment center, inpatient.
Right. Yep.
The other thing I want to disclose to everybody so they know is that, let me see. This study is being conducted in collaboration in the University of Cincinnati and College and Medicine of Cincinnati Children's Hospital. Is being overseen over Rachel Nolan, an advocate for the needs of people and their families impacted by the justice system. The purpose of the study is to access and prevalence and ethnic disparity of PICS in the U.S. families impacted by a loved one's history of incarceration. So this is really, really important. We need 250 people to do the survey. And
250.
yes, I mean, if you answer the survey, it counts if you exit out as one. I mean, I know a lot of people who is in this chat right now watching. It's not that hard of a survey. I've taken the survey myself because me being impacted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my boss is my founder. My organization is in the chat, Chastity Bowman.
Yeah, I see her popping up in there, and we know that she's here. And thank you for tuning in.
I love Chastity Pieces. I mean, she has done a lot for me. She has brought me into the organization. Dawn Marie actually works for me as well. But we're really trying to define this, and I understand I keep repeating it, is that it's so sad that no one understands it, and it's so misunderstood. And I appreciate you, Nick, letting me come on here and state this, because I really want to make a difference.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I mean, I'm glad to have you on. I mean, that we chat for about a half hour, and then go to the comments and whatnot. And I know how it was, especially my first year of being back home. What I mean, like, that was a catastrophe. Never mind, everything that I was going in while I was incarcerated myself. You know what I mean? We got a question popping up in the chat. Hold on 1 second.
But that's me. I get to come on camera when I can ask a question.
Yeah, when it's you, yeah, just pop in. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen it pop up.
Can I could you explain to me what PIC means?
It's post-incarceration syndrome.
Okay. Because I don't feel that the jail systems help incarcerated people at all.
They do not. They don't get the proper mental health care. They don't get the proper medical care. The thing is about it, they are so mistreated that there's so many things going on. There's so much overdoses in the prisons right now currently.
Chaos, right?
Yes,
Chaos.
there is complete chaos, and it's sad. And see, like with me, I take in prison complaints all the time. That is my job. If you have an incarcerated individual, like I said, you can go to our website. You can see everything that we do. We also have a membership. My founder has been doing this for years.
Now, do you have to have somebody in your family that has been incarcerated or anything like that to do this survey?
Honestly,
I mean, there's no such thing as squeaky clean families, but you understand what I'm trying to say, right?
yes.
I mean, like me personally, I have no one that's been incarcerated or is incarcerated. So would it help you guys if people are in that situation to still go in and fill out the form or take the survey?
Um, it per se, honestly, if say you have a friend and you deal with that friend, and
Okay.
or say it's a girlfriend or a husband, um, it's for the incarcerated, formerly incarcerated, like my founder just said, basically directly impacted that
Yeah,
to take the survey.
currently
Okay.
incarcerated or formerly incarcerated and
Right.
directly
Yes.
impacted.
Yes.
So if you have somebody, listen, from there's there's bad in the world. We all know that.
Yes.
Okay. And sometimes you could just get that person, that one person. Okay. Try to stay with me. There's a point to this, I promise.
Okay.
You have that one person that did something screwed up in their life, robbed the car, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
stole from a Kmart a bunch of clothes, or whatever the situation may be, but never been in trouble in their life. Okay,
Mhm.
they get found guilty, they get incarcerated.
Mhm.
Their whole life gets turned upside down.
Yes.
For me, now this is just my opinion. There's a 90% chance that that person, when they come out of jail, is gonna commit more crime because of the prison system. There's no reform.
No, there's not.
Okay, for me, there's no reform in prison. Okay, now you got that young woman or young man that's done that one thing and gets tossed into a correctional facility
Mhm.
and have no mentors and pretty much know anything to where they could help them do better, maybe learn something, maybe get a GED, something to that effect. And I know it's possible people do get that and things like that. But that person's life's turned upside down. And I'm sorry, being incarcerated, um, you learn things. There's nobody there to say, look, this is going to be okay. It's your first offense, second offense, or whatever. We can help you. You know what I mean? What's going on in your family? There's no psychiatrist is there. There's not any of this, correct?
Well, they do have people there
Well,
for
yeah,
mental
yeah,
health.
yes. I'm sorry. I understand. Yeah, the person that comes in for 4 hours a day and probably has about 60 or 70 appointments with inmates.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Uh,
Yep.
with with
it,
with the
it
incarcerated.
pretty much goes like this, and it's like, oh, 4 hours are up. See you guys later whenever I get back.
With the incarcerated individuals, that's the problem. That's a lot of like with the pigs. There is so much overcrowding inside the prison system that they don't have enough time to get the actual mental health that they need. And
Right.
just like Chaz said, the jail, prison, and amount of time, it depends. And even if they go to solitary confinement, because
Right.
if they go to the whole, that's really a family disconnect. Because a lot of people that go there
Exactly. You're
or just
isolated.
yes,
You're
you are
you're
completely
isolated.
isolated. You're away from home. You're wondering what's going on at home. You have no
You
control of what's going on at home.
you get taken advantage of in jail. You don't know what's going on, especially again if it's your first time ever being incarcerated.
Yep.
Okay, and again, for me, you pray that the person that goes in and gets incarcerated when they come out, you know what
Mhm.
I mean, that they have some of their faculties as far
Right.
as PIC goes, because this is a whole look, ladies and gentlemen, this is you're incarcerated, man, and your mind is working, and the programs that they show on TV and the things that you hear about and all of this stuff like that, you're scared with. And you could be easily manipulated by someone that's incarcerated and say, oh, I'll take you under my wing. Don't worry about it. Because what I'm trying to say is if that person, when they come out from that first offense, if they don't realize and settle into their life and realize that that's not the place for them to be, it becomes a revolving door.
Right. And
Okay.
see, that's the reason why, like with it, with them going in. let's say I went into prison, that I suffered traumatic trauma. It could be violence. I could be seen it or gone through it, and I'm not going through the right things. And they're not giving me the proper programs, because a lot of the times in the prison for programs, they'll hand you a packet. Here's your program.
Yep, and read it yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to insult anybody in any way, but okay. So if you've been in there, a few times or whatever, yeah, you understand what the packet is. My point is for that first person, they give you this packet, and you're supposed to read this in your cell, and you're supposed to learn from that. Is that how this is going, or?
Yeah, yes. But see, here's the thing. There is different levels in the prison, because where my organization at and where I'm at is I'm in Ohio. So I'm used to the prison system here in Ohio.
Okay.
That
Okay,
there's
so go ahead, Alyssa. Finish real quick. Go ahead.
there's different levels. There's what I'm used to dealing with, honestly, is a 4B. So I'm used to, being handed a packet, not getting no mental health, no nothing. Like, they're not taking it seriously, no nothing. And then but other ones, get to go programs, they get to go do whatever, and it's not right. I mean, you got people sitting in a cell for 23-1. They don't get to go out and socialize. They get to only go out for 1 hour for a shower, if they get that.
So for anybody who don't know what 23-1 is, that means you're literally in your cell 23 hours a day, and you only get out for literally an hour. For
Little
anybody
bit,
that
well,
don't understand
because
that.
by law you're supposed to. Now, how do you guys deal with? Okay, because let's do a little statistics here, and then I'll leave, and I won't bother you no more. Because
No,
this
you're
is
fine.
it's very interesting to me, and I'm very proud of what you kids are doing, man. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. But close to 80% of prisons are privatized. Not all are run by the government.
Right.
So
Right.
how do you guys I don't know, use the word infiltrate? It might be the wrong word, but something I could think of. How do you guys deal with that?
The thing is, with me personally, um, it. I mean, a lot of the prisons like here are a lot more state,
State
like,
run, right?
yes, state for me. Um, there's not very much private here. A lot of the things, like, we deal with them, we just advocate. We teach the people what they have to do,
Right.
for their loved ones. I mean,
So
Because
Chastity just said, hold on, Blaze, hang
yeah,
on.
yeah.
So Chastity just said, because this is, an issue for going on in Ohio. Chastity says that no, that is not true. So that means that they are not privatized.
yes, they're more
Okay.
state. But I know there's in other states, like, because I know from New Hampshire, because where my mom's at, a lot of them are private, but a lot of, like, the ones here in other places. No, oh, she's saying not 80% of them. She knows a little bit more than that, but I don't know the percentage. But where I'm at, I know it's not a lot of privacy.
Right.
Well, yeah,
That
like she just
I
said,
don't
the
think
private ones are
I don't
easier to
think the
deal with.
private I don't think prisons should be privatized.
No.
Okay, this is a human being, and when that person enters this facility and it's privatized, they actually get paid from the state or the government to house these incarcerated people.
Mm.
You know, so I appreciate you talking to me. I mean, this is something that really needs to be pushed and advocated more.
Yes, and the thing is, a lot of people do not want to have the voice to speak up for it, and that's the reason I'm a part of OP jail, just to have a voice for them.
What about? Have you guys reached out to your like your local politicians and who runs the district politicians or anything like that?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Chaz will know more about that. I know more about what we're doing. I
Okay.
know that we deal with a lot of government officials.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave you be. Nick, you're doing
All
a
right.
great job. Alyssa, you're doing a fantastic job, honey.
I
Okay.
appreciate
You're
I
doing
appreciate you
absolutely
guys.
phenomenal.
All
And you
right.
know what?
And
I would have called up. I would have called up the break already, because we usually go to a break around a half an hour. But this is big, and we're getting a lot of responses here. So if you don't mind, if you have nothing to do, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. And if you still want to stay on with us, we'll continue this, and then we'll go to the chat after that.
That's completely fine.
Yeah, awesome. All right, guys. So we're gonna just take a 5-minute break. We're gonna keep Alyssa here. We're steamrolling through this, guys. I hope you guys are getting a lot of information. I do see some questions going on here in the chat, so we want to get to that. So yeah, not a 5-minute break, guys. We're gonna take a 3-minute break. All right. After 3 minutes, we'll go through some advertisements and stuff like that, and we'll be right back with Alyssa.
Ladies and Jerry from the Neutral Corner on FFN Media. Every Thursday night, 7 to 8, catch my show live. We are talking with legends, we're talking with professionals, we're talking with amateurs, we're also talking about gyms and the different programs they have. You can catch us live on FFN Media, 7 to 8 p.m. Not only can you catch us live, you can actually ask questions in the comments and interact with our guests. Hope to see you then.
Hey guys, Nick Parsons here. Come check my show Unboxed Thoughts out live every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. on the FFN Radio Network page.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Welcome back, guys. Episode 18 of Unboxed Thoughts. Guys, we are having a terrific conversation with our friend Alyssa, who is a advocate for the OPJL. I want to keep this going, guys, so if we could just please bring her back in. We're getting a lot of response here from the audience. Alyssa, what's going on?
Okay, well, I want to say a little bit more different things than what we have been talking about, especially about my organization.
Sure.
You know, because Blaze mentioned about the legislation and stuff.
Sure.
We fought for like 2 years to get body cameras on correctional officers, and we won that. And invested $43 million on the water campaign in the facilities for clean water, because some of the facilities here did not have clean water. They were brown. And we're introducing 2 bills in the state of Ohio to get the CIC, which is a part of our government legislature that actually oversees the prisons. We're trying to get them more power with their findings, and we have a great relationship with them.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I'm getting messages. I apologize.
I hear you dinging away over there.
But
And they're doing a great job, by the way. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll tell you real quick. The chat's lighting up for you. Keep it going. This is all
see
new
that.
here.
And see, like right now, we're trying to pass 2 bills right now for the CIC, which is the Institution Correctional. Actually, I can't say CIC. I'll call it that. It's Inspection Committee for Prisons, and for passing a bill for incarcerated individuals to actually be able to vote.
Okay.
A lot of people don't think that people with felony convictions, can vote, but they can and have a word in, and it will give them more of a chance to feel like they are part of the community beside being isolated. So it's another mental thing. They feel like they have no word.
And
Correctional Institution Inspection Committee.
What is it?
She just posted it. Correctional Institution Inspection Committee.
All right, awesome. Because before I forgot, I wanted to know exactly what that was again. So awesome. So I'll check that out as well. So please go ahead, tell us more.
The thing is, like, a lot of the things like we do in our organization, like for membership, we have a program called Gift Beyond the Gates, because a lot of parents don't get that chance to sit there and give them Christmas gifts. So our organization has a thing to where we will get Christmas gifts to children. If you go to believe programs, you can see it. It's right there. Yep, it's right there. This is our website. It's great. My founder started this program a couple years back for Gift Beyond the Gates, and I actually got the greatest thing to experience helping her get it organized and stuff. It was great and phenomenal. The children love it. We get to do JPay video visits for the kids so they can see their loved ones, and it touches me because, it's sad because a lot of the times when you got Angel Tree, but Chastity has made it in a different level to where they can see their family and let them still feel that their mom or dad still loves them and thinks about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's amazing too, because at least for me, you know what I mean? When I was in the inside, my situation was a little different, because every time I would try to call home and like speak to my kids, you know what I mean? Like their mother wasn't giving them the time of day. You know what I mean? Whereas it's like, I think it's really rehabilitating, and it's a necessity for like incarcerated individuals to be able to have that type of contact with their families, to do like these little holiday things, especially the Christmas stuff going on here. For somebody like me, I support that 110% for you guys, because that's something like I would have wanted. I know of plenty other guys that are on my unit that would have wanted the same thing.
Yes, and see,
I'm proud of you guys for doing something like this as well.
You see, during the holidays, like Chaz just said, they stop the visiting, so we make it possible with the JPay video visits, so they can watch their children open up the gifts. And it's not just for biological kids, because a lot of the times they will not take in consideration a stepchild.
Yeah.
And we offer that to them. And see, we do offer donations all year round, and stuff. And you can see our sponsorships for our organization. It's just great. We're going to have memberships. We're going to be having a call center to where people can call in for us. And I
was looking at that. You guys have a lot of sponsors over there. Look, even Toy for Tots and stuff. That's amazing.
Yes.
That's absolutely amazing. Good for you guys.
I will tell you, when I first got in knowing who OPJO was, it took me a bit. And I stand with that because if no one's going to have a voice, I mean, who else will? I mean, so many people don't understand that. Some people will look at it as, well, they put themselves there, they deserve what they get, and that's not the case. And it could be wrong place, wrong time, and then they don't get the help. If you click on the programs tab, Blaze, I don't remember exactly where it is. It should
what
be.
do we do?
I'm trying to guide him real fast.
Yep, there we go. See,
Yeah.
I browsed it a little bit. I know where it's at.
I've been on it so much. I just had to remember. As
Yeah.
you can see, the Stay Focused group, that's the new one for our men who are previously incarcerated or formerly incarcerated and everything, which my other founder, Rufus Bowman, runs this part. And it's very helpful for any man that wants to join it. That's the same when it goes to POW. It's for the women.
Okay, so POW is for the women.
Yes, POW is for the
And
women.
what does POW stand for again?
It's a mentorship program. I don't remember exactly what POW stands for. I'm sorry.
Okay. But it's a mentorship program.
It's a mentorship program for men and women. We're actually I've seen so many people do some great. It's a protect our women, is what it's called.
Okay.
I've seen so many people that have done it. I've seen the previews of it. We have a celebration for the people, the certificates, that people that complete it, and they do so much better after doing. They feel so much sense of relief. And
I feel like they finally accomplished something.
Yes.
And I think that's a good way to start a positive path on their mentality and for them to keep going forward.
Yes,
awesome.
and another thing is, a lot of the times, even I know it's not happening right now, but sometimes we have a thing called our prison tour, which will give us updates of what's going on in the prison, giving them updates like what's going on and doing this. We usually host those on Saturdays. I know when we were hosting them at 3 p.m. on Saturdays via Zoom, and it's great information, letting people know what's going on. And I attended that every day because I love being updated on everything I can do to help. And it's not just Ohio that's bad, or even Massachusetts, where you're from, New Hampshire. It's everywhere.
It is. Like here, we have a place. It's called Mass Rehab.
Mm-hmm.
And Mass Rehab is a program out here when you're getting out of a rehab, whether you're just getting done with incarceration. They actually help you with any type of job searches, educations and stuff like that. But here's the kicker, okay? Even with me, I applied for this particular program. I think it was within like the last 3 or 4 days of my release, and it still took me 1 month for a counselor to be assigned to me from this place.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it took another 2 weeks to go in for what they call their orientation. Right? You go in there, you meet with your counselor now face to face instead of just a phone call. Another 2 weeks to go in with everybody else who got accepted in to go for your you watch a video and stuff like that. And then it was probably going to be anywhere between another 3 to 6 months before they had an actual opening for you to go wherever you were going into, whether that be a certain type of course you were going to take or job, whatever it is. And I found that ridiculous because it's like, we're out here, we're trying, but it's like the resources are there, they stall. You know what I mean? And it's like, where is our mind going to be at already? Exactly. Like Kim just said, Kimberly, by the way, that's my mother, Alyssa. She watches the show every week.
Hi.
So it's crazy she gets to go through this experience with me as well. She said it's a long process, you know what I mean? And she'll tell you. And it came to a point with me where it's like, listen, like I was motivated a week before I got out. And now it's like I'm trying to get all these things going that way I can keep my mind on the right path, to keep doing the right thing, go to school, look for a better job, accelerate myself. But you guys aren't you want us to be like this, but you guys ain't like this. And I have a fear of stuff like that because I know so many people that just want to better themselves, and they what happens? They don't have the resource, or they're stolen, and then next thing you know, their mind time runs out, and it takes a left turn. And now what are they doing? They're going back out on the streets, doing whatever it is that they were doing in the first place. It's not because they necessarily wanted to. They tried. They really did try. And the help just wasn't there at the proper time. And you expect us, I mean, to bow down and start doing everything right off the rip.
And see, that's the problem. Like, they don't get that before they even leave the gates. And that's the reason why that's the reason why we have the programs for them to join and, you know, have that mentorship and extra push. But see, it's up to the individual to make that step to want to change. But see, that's another, you know, a lot of people say the halfway house. You're still going to go through that in the halfway house. They're not great, but a lot of people recommend them.
Yep.
But they need the help very bad. And like I said, if they can get this disorder done, the proper if they could actually sit there and improve the prison system a little bit and get people properly trained, because a lot of people that are incarcerated have mental disorders already before they even go in.
Yes.
And they're not getting the help that they need, and they're not giving them the right medication. They're prolonging it. It's really hurtful.
Yeah.
And
you know, you watch the show, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That this is what the show is all about. I talk about all these different departments of mental health. That's why I wanted to have this conversation with you today when you were telling me about, you know, everything that your agency does for you and whatnot, because I went through it, and it's like to actually see of another organization that's actually trying to help the cause, to see like what they can do. You know what I mean? It's actually amazing for me to come in here, you know, and pick your brain. You know what I mean? And, you know, your boss's brain over here in the chat as well. You know, so it's amazing to have you guys on here. And, you know, I deeply appreciate all your time. I appreciate your boss having a conversation with me yesterday. I know, you know, she's been, you know, interacting with us as well. And it was great for her to give us her answers as well. But yeah, you know, but like I said, I'm a huge advocate of people, you know, wanting to, you know, do the right thing, you know. And when we talk about like when people go into jail and being incarcerated, they're already going in with a certain type of mental disability.
yes,
You know,
their mind
your bipolar, your manic bipolar, you know what I mean? Your manic anxiety, you know what I mean? And it's like they're not normal incarcerated inmates, if that's what you want to say. You know what I mean? Like they're already coming in here with like, you know, Looney Tune status. All right. And knowing that because it's on a medical document somewhere, these are the people that should have like a psychiatrist or another counselor accessible to them while they're inside. And you expect them to act appropriate?
Well, see, there's the thing. I'm going to give an example.
Okay.
There is some places that offer like different statuses of who they are. Like a C1 is like very, very, you know, high risk for mental.
Yep.
C2 is like, you got to watch them once in a while. I mean, especially with the different statuses, because everyone is so different.
Right.
I mean, but they still don't take that into consideration at all. they don't have the people properly trained to be in that setting and deal with it. And I can't express that enough, that they do need that. Certain blocks for certain people to actually have patience. Because there are so many times that people that have mental disorders are treated so badly and denied that care.
Yep.
Because I can tell you from personal experience, because I've seen it and I've heard it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cry.
No. You know how many times I've cried on this show? Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. And you know what? That just goes to show how strongly you feel about what you do. And I, for one, as I already said, I deeply appreciate you for even coming on here and, you know, sharing this experience with me personally, for sharing with everybody here in the chat. I know that you're not used to being on camera. You know what I mean? So, as I always tell you, to see you go outside your normal comfort zone and you're getting better and better and better with it. We've been rocking and rolling already for an hour. Okay, so you already got an hour under your belt. And, you know, for the time that, see, the chat's blowing up right now. You're getting positive vibes back from your boss to everybody in the chat. My producer's saying that you're doing a great job. We appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much, you know, because me personally, I can see, you know, how far you've already been coming, you know, and that's amazing for somebody like me. You know what I mean? And I couldn't have had a better guest, you know, to come on today, you know, this was a phenomenal bounce back episode.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I owe you a huge thank you. All right. I owe your boss for even coming in here and, you know, sharing all her experience with us as well. So Chaz, thank you as well very much. You got a rock star over here on your hands, and I couldn't be more appreciative of her. And if everybody would just please soak up all this information that Alyssa had just shared with us. Go to the website. It's opjl.us. Fill out the survey, please.
You're not
I'm not her fault. I'm just a servant, she said. All right. And you know, I've got everybody saying that this was a great job. You know, that you guys like the show. Guys, what a great way to have episode 18.
Nick, I want to tell you something. As far as I've watched your show, and as far as I've sat there and watched you on TikTok, I appreciate everything you have done for me, your mental health, your experiences, especially with my past experiences. I thank you very, very much.
I always say, Alyssa, you know what I mean? It's if I could share my experience with anybody and just get through to one person, I've done my job. If I need to be the example for others to get their head out of their ass, you know what I mean? I will be that person because I, at the end of the day, I'm not 100%, right? I'm not, but you know what? If I could still come here and be 70% or 80%, I'm going to give all that 70 and 80%. You know what I mean? This is what it's all about, girl. This is what it's all about. And thank you so much for giving us your time. And everybody, make sure you go to opjl.us and fill out that survey. They need 250 signatures in order to get this ball rolling for it to go nationally. So without further ado, guys, this was episode 18. Thank you all UnBoxed for coming in. Thank you for the comments. We deeply appreciate you. And give it up for Alyssa for everything that she's done for us today. I want to see that chat light up for 30 seconds, and then we are out of here. Alyssa, thank you so much again.
You're completely welcome.
Back twice, lost $10 million through different addictions. Don't tell me about paying the price. From penthouses with top models, hanging with script strippers with pop bottles. Anxious and hiding alone in my room from the world. I was pissing in pop bottles. From chart top and being a role model to flop records and lost follows. When I cop product, got a month's worth. When I left the spot, cops followed. Saw a photo, it was only face, cause I was 85 pounds overweight. Mental breakdown trying to catch a plane. Wasn't mad, shot, I was only Shane. My puppy Lola was my only gang. Had to put my baby in a fucking grave. I walked away from every brick I laid so I could build a new wall to keep me safe.
I'm finding someone that I know again. I started climbing out the